Well, hello. Hello and welcome, influencers. Hello and welcome. Listen, we are here behind the screen business confessions with your girl, Anika Cohen, and I'm excited to have yet another conversation that is real, raw, relevant to your journey in the marketplace. This is the show where we are intentional to motivate, support, and uplift leaders around the world in the marketplace to propel forward with clarity, confidence, and strategy. So, welcome to our show. If you are new here, I'm Anika Cohen. I'm your business strategist coach. I serve leaders in the marketplace to start, build, and grow their business with clarity, confidence, and strategy. And so I'm super excited to be on your be on your journey, be a part of your journey in whatever capacity you are on. And so this is the show where we bring on guests to number one, share their story. Number two, share the message in the story. Come on here, somebody. And number three, to share their strategy because everybody's story has a strategy. It serves its purpose with some type of information, some type of resource, some type of valuable information that's going to be impactful to them accomplishing the goal. And so this is what behind the screen business confessions is all about because we are helpers to one another. Come on here, somebody. So listen, I am super excited because I have a guest. I have a phenomenal woman in her own right. She's bold, she's courageous. I met her through Rock Your Stage seminar. Well, it was actually Rock Your Stage wasn't a seminar. It was an actual um, boot camp, would you will. We signed up, it was like for 8 weeks. And so we went through that experience together. And that was, oh my God, I want to say over 5 years ago. And here we are being able to still support and connect with one another. And I love that. And so, yes, I'm excited to bring her to our virtual stage. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Miss Dr. Sharon Porter.
Hello, Lady Anika.
Yes, 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 yes. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is no stranger to our platform. And like I said, she's no stranger to me. I absolutely honor this woman. I absolutely adore her because she has been genuine to me since the day I met you. And so I love to, give people their flowers while they are still able to smell them. I don't want to wait until you are gone. I want to celebrate you. And so I'm excited to have you back here behind the screen business confessions. Yes. So for those people who do not know you, Dr. Sharon Porter, who is Dr. Sharon Porter?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question, Lady Anika.
Yes.
Yes, first of all, I am a child of God. That is the first thing that I am. I'm a wife. I am a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm an educator over 30 years in public education. And I love that career. But besides my professional career, I'm a business owner and entrepreneur, and that's a passion. I'm editor in chief of Vision and Purpose Lifestyle magazine. I also host several shows and podcasts. And just a lover of life, Anika. I'm learning to love life all over again.
Yes. Come on.
Learning to love life all over again, despite anything that comes and goes.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And so, listen, it is such an honor to have you here. I would like for you to share because although you shared with us who you are, you've also shared with us your business titles, right?
That's
But
right.
I want to know the story behind that, right? How did we get to this position that we're operating in today?
Absolutely. First of all, I love storytelling. I love uplifting and elevating the voices of others. And that started through book publishing. Just sharing people's story. I started out sharing mine, right? I am originally from North Carolina and I live in the Washington, D.C. area now close to 30 years. I can't believe it. but close to
Wow.
30 years. And for several years, I'm talking maybe even a decade, when I first moved up here back in the 90s, I would not talk, Anika. I was so embarrassed of my Southern accent, my North Carolina
Mhm.
accent. And so that was the start of me changing, because I thought about it and saw how hidden I was, right? And when
Mhm.
you don't talk in meetings and professional meetings, people think you don't know anything.
Come on.
You got to show people what you know, right? And I
Mm.
finally realized that when I just kept being passed over things, and I had a talk with myself, and I said, "Hey, I got to get out of this Southern
Yes.
accent and all."
Yes.
And
Come
that
on.
and I wrote a book about it, North Carolina Girls in a Maryland World. And I gathered several of us from North Carolina, and we shared our stories and our journeys about transitioning from the great state of North Carolina to Maryland. And it was successes, but it was so many challenges as well.
Mm.
And one of them for me was my accent, because I was truly embarrassed. Embarrassed. And so now I lead with that. I
Come
thought,
on.
I do. I lead with it. I don't care where I am. I tell you, may hear this accent because I'm from North Carolina. It's not going anywhere. I've been here
Right.
30 years, but you're gonna hear it. And there it go. And then I began, because it's so many times I hit it. I was embarrassed. So that's
Mhm.
how it started. Once I started with that, I started publishing others, individuals, stories, and that led to podcasting, because I wanted to then highlight the individuals that I was publishing, and then that eventually led to my own show in a studio several years ago,
Mhm.
2017, January the 1st. I will never forget it. I started my in studio show. You were actually one of my first guests that year. Um,
Wow.
and and since then, I've been in three different studios, and now I'm fortunate to be in my own studio,
Mm.
which I'm so grateful for. But it was all because I truly, truly wanted to elevate the voices of others.
Mm.
The journey. I was always interested and curious and passionate about learning how others got to where they are. Um,
Yes.
and so that really started for me very early, very early. And so one thing just led to another. I published a magazine again to finish telling people stories. So now it's like a three-prong approach.
Right.
I love it. I love it, because the through line is elevating and amplifying the voices of others.
I love that. Elevating the voices of others. My God, I am all about your voice. Your voice is your power. It's your leverage. It's what you speak. It's what you manifest. It's what will be. And so for you to, I just love what you're doing because you've been consistent in doing exactly what you've been called to do. And I like how you said one thing just led to another. And so I would just put a plug in it right there for someone. You waiting on the right moment is just to get started.
Let's get started.
Get started where you are because it will lead you and it will guide you as long as you follow the vision and not the crowd. And so I often say that. And so what keeps you focused? What keeps you focused? Because a lot of people, they get started and then they get stuck.
Absolutely. And
So,
so, that's a very valid question. And one of the things for me is I think about my father and my sister, who are both no longer on this side. But my father, I didn't realize it until a few years ago, but everything I am, I got from him. He was a chef, but when I tell you that man did 50 million things, he opened so many businesses, and my brother and I, we talk about it now. And he never really made it
mhm,
entrepreneurially, if that, you know what I'm saying?
I
And the same,
understand.
right, and the same thing with my sister. Her health was her barrier. She was a hairstylist, but in her dream, she wanted to own her own salon.
Wow.
And again, it never came to fruition before she passed. And so I think about both of those.
Mm,
And that keeps me going, because I'm determined, right,
mm,
to do the things that I've set out to do. And
yes.
I do it in honor of them, actually. I do it in
Mm,
honor of them. And so that keeps me up when I'm tired, when, I'm thinking, I've got to do this to honor them. And
absolutely.
that motivates me.
Wow, my God. I've never heard that story, and that really touched me because we have to know what keeps us going.
Absolutely.
When you get frustrated, when things don't align with your outcome or your desires, how do we continue to persevere? Because it's easy to give up.
Oh, so
There
easy.
is no magical pill that keeps leaders going. It's a choice to keep going. Come on
Absolutely.
here, somebody. And
Absolutely.
so, oh my goodness, Dr. Sharon, it don't take much for me, okay? Um, but you just sparking something within me because it's honestly how many people they do get stuck because they don't go back to their why. And so
Yes.
for you, you're doing what your family members were not able to do. And that speaks volume because you're leaving legacy.
Yes.
Yes, you're leaving your legacy. Absolutely. And so you talk about elevating people's story, elevating their voices and hearing their stories. With one of the perks of you being able to interview other leaders around the world.
Well, you know what? The one thing, because as you, and I've always said this, like I said, I'm an educator. So as you teach, you learn, right? And as you learn, you teach, and it's reciprocal. And so I love that because when I hear the stories and I hear the challenges, the barriers, just everything that go, it makes me know, hey, I can keep going. I can do this because representation is everything. And I interview everybody, not just people who look like me, but everyone. But from
Mhm.
their stories, because if anyone can do it, I can do it, right? And we should feel like that. And even if you haven't seen anyone do it, you still can do it.
Right.
And that's so important because someone has to lead the charge to do it. And so to me, the perk is just getting those lessons from, because
Mm.
I'm gonna tell you, if you stop long enough to listen to people, a lot of the mistakes you don't have to make yourself. Now, mistakes are good because we learn from them. But why make so many when you can learn from other mistakes, right?
Come
And
on.
so that's what you have to do when you're listening to people. You may not do it the same way. You may have to tweak it to make it your own, but you have to learn from others' failures just like you learn from your own. And so to
Mhm.
me, I think that's the biggest perk of it all. You get to get all those wonderful lessons and then utilize them how you may.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I heard you say something that stuck out to me. You said leading the charge. My
Yeah.
God, that was powerful. Someone has to lead. And so what I understand your family played a significant part in you wanting to leave your legacy and in going into entrepreneurship because you don't want to leave here with what God gifted us with. He
Right.
gifted it us with so that we can be a blessing to someone. And so we're utilizing our gifts and our talents when we choose to take on the mission, the vision, right? And so what charge are you leading?
Well, you know what? What's important to me, and now I have to go back to my Women Who Lead series. I believe in helping those who are coming after us, right? Like we
Mhm.
learn from those who come before us, but I'm just a believer that we have to reach back. And so when I talk about the lessons learned, my Women Who Lead series is totally about helping young ladies, young women,
Mhm.
in whatever industry that they're in. I put forth those individuals who are there, who have made it, who are at some point in life where they're successful in their uh, area of profession, right?
Mhm.
And then I donate, first of all, I find women's groups, young women's group, and donate the books to them so that they can actually read the stories of these women. Because one thing I found out as an educator, I was a middle school principal for a very long time. Right now I'm elementary. But one thing that I found out is they give up so easily. They have a barrier in front of them and they're ready to stop. They're ready to call it quits, right?
Right.
I was like, you can't do that. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be barriers, but you have to navigate those challenges and
Come
barriers.
on.
Find a way to keep going, right? Sometimes you got to stop and rest, but you don't stop and stay. And
Oh,
so And that's what I want. That's to me is my legacy. I want to help someone get to the next point. That's what I want to do.
Yes, absolutely. My God. Go back and get your sister. Go back and get
Yes,
your brother. Don't forget about where you come from. Sometimes, we forget about
absolutely.
the humble beginnings. I stay humble throughout your journey. However big your success gets for you, whatever goal you want to reach and you get there, don't forget where you come from to where you can't go back and get your sister or your brother. I love that. I love that. So we as strong women, right? Strong women, women of color, there's lots of barriers that we have to, be intentional about overcoming. And so I don't want to leave this segment without you being a Black woman who's an educator, who's a doctor. Talk to us about some of the challenges, even as you're in your profession, as your career, that you see, and how we have been able to at least persevere through those challenges or have some resolve.
Absolutely. And I would just have to say access and opportunity. And the ironic thing about that is now in the times that we're living in, it's coming back to where 10, 15 years ago when women were looked over for certain positions just because they were a woman, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I really feel like it may be trying to creep back in. And so that's why I think it's so important for us to band together and support each other. And as they say, you can have mentors, but you need some sponsors. You need individuals who
Mm-hmm.
are going to call your name in that room where you're not there, to give you access and opportunity. I think that's so important. So many times you will find out women work well together, but if we're honest and we're transparent, that doesn't always happen. It's not
Right.
always true
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. If
Right.
we can let go of that and really collaborate in the true sense of collaboration, we are unstoppable. But jealousy, greed, like so many things get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just band together, stop competing and collaborate. Like that's all you have to do. It's enough for everyone. We talk about that. You have to have
Mm-hmm.
that abundance mindset. You can't keep it all to yourself because you think it's not enough. So if we have that abundance mindset, we will collaborate and work together without a problem. But it's not always true.
It's not always true. And I'm glad that you were able to be transparent and speak on that, because again, this is why the show was created, because I feel like a lot of times we don't normalize the truth of the matter, right? They're not all women who are collaborating have ill intentions.
Right.
However, when we experience that, yes, it will cause you to become more conscious and um, more aware of what you're getting into with those relationships. But it does exist. And when it does happen, though, you can move forward in grace for yourself and keep
For
your
you.
sanity, keep your integrity, keep your
Absolutely.
peace of mind. Come on here, somebody, because
Absolutely.
ultimately you can never change anyone. You can only change yourself.
Absolutely. I love
And
that.
so I thank you for just, sharing that real raw conversation that I don't think we have enough of, you know. So thank you for that. Now, I want to know, what advice would you give to the woman or the man who wants to get started in publishing? Right? Because you're a publisher and that's how you got started.
Yes.
So I always would love for people who are in that industry to share any resources or any information for that person who is just considering it. It's just an idea for them right now. They
Mhm.
haven't found their courage, but here's a woman who is doing exactly what they may consider as a challenge and they can't do it. So what would you say to that
Absolutely.
person? What's that
Yeah,
advice?
and I think we talked about this a little earlier, but the first step is just to begin, whether that's research, whether that's connecting with someone who's doing it, and you're learning how to do it, right? I think we don't connect enough. Because again, that goes back to people holding it tight to the chest, right? Why? Why? And so I would definitely say, first of all, just put your step out there and find someone who's doing what you want to do, and open your mouth and ask, hey, can you mentor me? Can you share with me? Whatever it is, because a lot of times, and there's a win-win in it, because and you don't want to come to someone and it's one-sided, because people time is valuable, right?
Mhm.
But find a way that there's a win-win. What can I get out of it? What can I do for you? So
Absolutely.
and I believe that, because too many people, and I believe that's why a lot of people don't like to do it. It's because people come for one-sidedness. It's nothing in it for them, and it's not that it has to be something, but we are busy. A lot of people have 9 to 5. A lot of people are doing entrepreneur things. You're active in the community. You're in church. I mean, you're doing so many different things. And so your time is a high commodity. And so it has to be worthwhile. There
Absolutely.
are times that you do things, and I'll put for charity, I'll put that in quotes, but there are times that you give back, but you can't assume that that's automatic for individuals. So, find a way that it's a win-win for someone. So if someone is interested, find someone who's doing it and get to know what they're doing so that you can do it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because networking is still a thing. I
Yes,
know we
it
have
is.
social media. I know that it's so much easier to just post and to post, but you have to network. You have to make yourself available. Put your name in the spaces. That's exactly how her and I was able to connect. Again,
Absolutely.
through us saying yes and making investments in ourselves. And again, it does take nothing away from your brilliance to say, I would like to know this information, and here's what I can offer you. Here's
Absolutely.
how I can, do whatever it is that I would like to do. But be upfront. Don't lie. Don't
Absolutely.
mislead. And I love
That's
how you said that.
right.
So, Miss Sharon,
Yes.
listen. All right. I often do a little, fill in the blank. I
Okay.
make a statement. You fill in the blanks. Okay. So I'm going to say the statement. The statement is, I learned and I'm learning. You're going to fill in the blanks between the two. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So I've learned
Whew. I've learned not to take things personally.
and I'm learning.
And I'm learning to love me. I didn't always do that. I didn't always do that, but
Wow. Come on here. You set somebody
every
free.
part of me, every part of me.
Every part. Come on here, somebody. I love that. I love that for you. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Sharon Porter, okay? This is a phenomenal woman. And again, we have recognized her great works at the Influencers on the Rise. You talk about connection, right? I love to bring people together. Dr. Sharon knows that about me. I love to bring people together. I love to host great social networking events because you never know who's in the room. And I believe leaders who are being intentional about being that servant leader, everything she named, that's what I do. Church, ministry, community,
Yes.
business, mother, sister, soon to be
Wow.
grandmother. Like,
Oh
I'm
my goodness.
excited.
Woo,
So it's
yes.
like, come on, I have a busy life. So you want to honor people's time. You
Yes.
want to, be intentional about your time, right? And so we're connecting all together at
Yes.
the Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala.
Yes.
And we were able to salute our queen here. And now she's passing the
Amen.
baton.
I
And she's
love it.
also going to be our mistress of
Yes.
ceremony. So I'm excited to have her back every time we do something with Choose to Live Enterprises. Dr. Sharon has been a part of our PLE conference. I mean, She's just been with us through a lot of our transitions,
Yeah,
and we really do thank you for everything that you contribute. And here's the thing, like she said, the connection, we give her, we have a negotiation. We make sure that she's well accommodated, taken
absolutely.
care of. And so again, everything does not always have to be about monetary, but you want to make sure that there's a win-win. You want to make
Absolutely.
sure that you again honor people's time and their commitment to show up for you, right?
Absolutely.
And so we're modeling it. We are doing it right here in real time to show you that it can be done.
Absolutely. I
So
love
before, yeah, so before we leave out, Dr. Sharon, I would love for you to share with our listeners how they can connect with you, how they can also get in touch with you. If they wanted to, again, be a part of your studio, to be a guest, how would that work out?
Yeah, so LinkedIn is the best way for social media to connect with me. I'm Sharon Hargrove Porter on LinkedIn, or my link tree is Sharon H. Porter. So you can just Google link tree Sharon H. Porter, and then all of my contact information will come up there.
Awesome. So listen, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate each and every one of you sharing, being a part of our show here behind the screen business confessions with our amazing guest, Dr. Sharon Porter. And listen, we hope to see you all at the Influencers on the Rise Brunch and Gala. It's going down March the 8th in Richmond, Virginia. So we look forward to celebrating everyone who walks through that space. You are somebody, you are enough, and you're doing a great job. Until next time, choose to live.